My name is Melissa Barlett, and I have a PhD in Aquatic Ecology. I teach biology at Mohawk Valley Community College, and I am also the current chair of the Women in Science and Engineering group at MVCC. Growing up as a girl interested in science, I was actually quite fortunate. My father was an engineer by training and was quite willing to let me tinker around on computers and other digital devices starting when I was quite young. And he taught me all kinds of interesting math and logic skills, such as solving a Rubik's Cube and doing square roots on paper and other crazy stuff. And my interest in science jumped around a lot. I was real into dinosaurs, undersea exploration, and insects, which my mother would not let me bring into the house, but my caterpillar hotels were just fine if they stayed in the garage. In middle school, I was already on track that led to a math and science education, although this is where it began to become noticeable that a lot of what I was doing involved me and a bunch of boys. I was one of very few girls on the math team, and although the general academic team had a better split, it was clear that the boys were often given preference. I became aware that although I said many of the same things and got the same scores, it seemed like an afterthought to my teachers to consider me. In fact, I was given the Spanish award in 8th grade, and I think it was because they realized they couldn't ignore me, but they had already awarded the math and science awards to the boys. In high school, the picture was similar. I was the only girl who scored higher than a number of the boys on the computer programming competition test, but for reasons, I didn't make the team. At one point, I noticed that one of the boys in my grade was ahead in math, like 2 years ahead by classes, and I asked if I could do the same. Nobody knew exactly what to say to me. They kind of shrugged and were like, well, okay, you can take the pre-calculus algebra 2 final, and if you do well on it, then you could skip the class. And I don't think they expected me to be able to do it, but I taught myself pre-calculus over that whole year while I was bored in geometry and did better than most of the students. And then while I was in calculus, I took an extra step to teach myself the extended calculus to take the tougher AP exam that my school didn't technically offer. After I took the test, but before I got the score, my calculus teacher actually asked me if I thought I might take calculus again next year. I kind of looked back at him and I was like, I'm pretty sure I scored high enough to never take calculus again. And I was right. I actually got a 5, which is the highest possible AP score, and it's quite difficult to get on the Calculus BC test. And I did the same with the physics test the next year, studied ahead in physics, and earned another 5 on another very difficult AP test that my school didn't technically offer and didn't suggest to me specifically I had to fight for it. So in my case, it wasn't that anyone told me that I couldn't do those things. They just didn't expect that I could. Or more specifically, that I would want to. However, I'm stubborn, and I'm loud, and I speak up for myself. And that's not always true of many women who have the same interests as me. They don't know that these options are available because no one thinks to ask a girl if they want to take a super hard math class, or build a computer, or do science in the mud. And I'm glad that I did have some great female role models who supported me through school. I had a few in high school, and further on, I was able to have female mentors in research in both undergrad and graduate, and I was able to do most of that work without feeling like I didn't belong. But so many areas of STEM are still lacking in these role models, and so many girls and women want to get involved, but aren't sure if they can, or if they can push through the unwritten expectations that women just aren't as good and often have to work harder and ask louder to get the same opportunities. So if you work with women in STEM fields, or any field in which women are the minority, support them. Have high expectations and expect that women can and want to meet them. And if you are a girl or a woman wondering if you fit into these fields, you do. And I hope that the stories you'll see and read from myself and the other women in science and engineering, or WISE at MVCC, will let you know that we're also here and we support you. You can do it. Thank you.